Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to Rune Scopes by Amanda. That is me. This month, for teen, I will be using in conjunction with our runes the Paulina Tarot. This is by a very gifted artist named Paulina Cassidy. I encourage you to check out her work if you haven't ever done so. She's got really awesome artwork. Then, as always, be sure to join me for part 2 of your reading over on the Vimeo channel. I will be pulling and interpreting one card from the Viking cards by Gudrun Bergman and Olafur Gudlaksson. That link is below in the description box. So that always adds more guidance, wisdom, and advice for how you can handle the energies swirling around you in the month of Earth. But let's jump in first and get our runes cast. For Gemini, which runes want to talk to Gemini about? As always, Gemini, keep in mind these are general readings, and as such, not all these messages will be for you personally. Some are going to be for the other Geminis that are watching, the other thousands of people that are watching the video. You can always check out the video for your rising sign as well. Sometimes all of your messages for a given month will come through that reading instead of the even more general sun sign reading. Your rising sign is more specific, your personal chart. So always good to just keep that in mind. If you would like something far more specific, if you really are needing some guidance or just really curious about what's going to happen just for you and not all the other Geminis that are watching, you can always set up a private session with me. I do those on Skype. They are dollars. Just drop me a line at runescopesforyou@gmail.com. Email address is here in the video. It's also below in the description box. But in general, what's going on with Gemini? Your challenge or focus. You got a big month here. We got 2 major arcana. Yeah, 2 major arcana here, Gemini. And very interesting. We'll talk about why here in a second. Challenge or focus, we do have the Judgment card. And Canis in reverse. So the challenge is just what it says it is. A judgment coming down, a decision being rendered of some sort on you, by you. You could be just trying to figure out what you're going to do about something or not do. A decision you're trying to make. Canis in reverse is about something ending. A relationship, a job, leaving something behind. I've done all I'm supposed to do with this person. I've done all I'm supposed to do with this job. It's time for me to go. It's the end of an era. It's the end of something. This could also be somebody close to you going through this. Maybe they come to you for advice. They want to leave a relationship. They're thinking about that. Or they don't know whether they should stay at a job. Maybe you are the boss and they are asking you, unless there's going to be upward mobility, I don't know if I can stay here. You could also be the one going to your boss and saying, hey, if there's not any good chance of promotion, I'm going to have to take this other opportunity or move on to this other job. Because you have another option on the table, some of you, with what I'm seeing here. We'll talk about why when we get to that position. But now this can also be resurrection from the past. Judgment is about old issues coming back for review. Something coming up from the past, something that we thought was over and done, someone that we thought we were over and done with, kind of creeping up from the past. And this would make sense because remember, we do have 2 planets going that are retrograded. We start the month with Venus still retrograde. She doesn't go direct until mid-month, and that can bring people, relationships back into our lives or back up for review. And then as soon as she turns direct in mid-month, I believe Mercury goes retrograde, which can also bring communication back from the past, people from the past, things from our past can be brought up for review. Some of you have, if you are in some sort of position of power, if you are in some sort of position of authority in the community, in your family, whatever societal group, again, it'll be different for all of you. Something come up from your past that, people are judging you for. And it could be a good thing for some of you, and it could be a bad thing for some of you. Again, talking to thousands of people here. You're all individuals. So, the judgment, is going to vary depending on what it is. It could also be you are having to judge someone because of some information coming up from the past, right? And now you got to deal with this, and maybe it's up to you to make a decision, you know? Maybe you're finding out somebody, if you are going back to I feel like somebody's a boss and this is an employee and something's coming up from their past. Maybe they lied on their application and you're finding out maybe that they have some sort of felony conviction that they didn't disclose, or some sort of information that was requested that they did not inform you of. There may be something totally different going on with their life that's affecting their job performance, and you have to decide, like, am I going to keep this person here or am I going to fire them? So yeah, there is, your challenge is either judging someone else or being judged by others, or someone else is going through that and that you are helping them, maybe trying to guide them and make a decision. This can also be legal matters. This can also have to do with a court case, a divorce, a separation, a severance of ties, a settlement. And it could be something that you thought was done or was going to wrap up earlier than this, but now it's coming, there's some new loose end that has to be tied up, what have you. Now, what's interesting is in the present energy, you have the Justice card. So we've got two major arcana about balance, fairness, karma, legalities. Justice is really more about karma, but yeah, rendering decisions. Forces being kind of outside our control, usually, when these cards come up. It's like, here's the evidence. What's the, you be the one that's getting the evidence and you're making the decision. In some cases, you're one of the opposing sides here, and a judge is making this decision. When justice comes in your reading, it means the decision will be fair, whether or not you feel it is. It will be karmically just and fair and balanced. Judgment is in the upright too, so that's good, Gemini. And in the present energy, for some of you, this will be maybe what's swirling around whenever you're watching this video. For others of you, it would be more end of our early November. Yeah, there is a bit of something is being delayed or has been, again, put on hold, or is being stalled. And with Awaz in reverse and Esau here, again, this could have to do with divorce proceedings, custody battles, some sort of legal case. And there could be a continuance, so more evidence can be gathered, or so more information can be gleaned. This is going to end up being fair. Again, whether you agree it's fair to you or not. But I think here, Gemini, that you are going to be happy with the result because these are upright. Again, most of you. But yeah, I just feel like maybe you just like, the delay is frustrating because you want this over with, or you want the settlement, or you just want to get on with your life, or you want the divorce to be finalized, or whatever. For some of you, this could have something to do with a car accident, or maybe you're going to court and fighting a traffic ticket or something. And maybe for some of you, it could be that if it's just a traffic ticket or something, you could look out because maybe the officer doesn't show up and you don't have to pay the traffic ticket. So yeah, it's a hassle to go down there, and it's a hassle to take off work, or be down there on a weekday, or whenever you're supposed to appear in court if you're fighting a traffic ticket. But chances are, if you do that, especially in October or earlier, there would be a freeze, a cessation. You could put this behind you, and you won't have to pay that. For some of you, it could be you that is delaying this process because you feel like more information needs to be gathered. It's a hassle for you to have to kind of drag this out, and it's frustrating, but you feel like it's going to be fair, or it's going to be more balanced, or you really want to know what the information is. You really want this to be gathered. If this has to do with the car accident here, this could be turning down a settlement offer. Like, no, I'm not gonna accept that. That's not enough. That's not even what the repairs cost, or maybe you had hospital bills from this. If very careful driving, Gemini. Whenever I've got both Rido and AWAS reverse in a reading, I always, and with Mercury retrograde, or do car accidents happen when Mercury is not retrograde? Of course they do. But this is coming up specifically for you. And we do have that on top of it. So you just be extra vigilant, extra careful. Make sure you're focused on what you're doing and not anything else when you're driving. Because, you could get a fair result, but who wants to total their car or whatever? Or have to, God forbid, be in the hospital with injuries. So just keep that in mind, Gemini. Some of you this is like you're turning down a settlement and like, no, we're going to court with this because this insurance company is just never going to pay me what I'm owed or even kind of meet what I would need to get in order for this to be fair and balanced. Now, others of you, this doesn't have to have anything to do with legalities. It could just have to do with the karmic justice. And this could be someone that you, again, it could be an ex. It could be somebody that you haven't spoken to in quite some time. You severed ties with quite a long time. And these retrograde planets are bringing it back up for review. You have to go see someone that you're nervous about it and you're undecided. Maybe that's why you're seeking advice and asking someone else, like, what would you do? Would you go? It does seem like this is in order to kind of balance the situation out. You have to go somewhere you don't want to go see someone you don't want to see, or have them come to your house or meet you somewhere. And it just seems you may be a little bit apprehensive about what this person's going to say, what this person's going to do, and you're apprehensive about being treated fairly and getting a chance to maybe say what you feel you need to say. And it does seem like maybe this started for some of you with a misunderstanding that snowballed. Again, common with Mercury retrograde and Venus retrograde. Again, relationships, not as easy and go with the flow as they are when Venus is moving forward. So, yeah, I mean, this could be something that happened the last time we had Venus retrograde, which I think was a couple of years ago, a year and a half ago or so. Maybe this is when that started, when the misunderstanding occurred. And here we are now and it's bringing it up. This could also be when something legal happened during a Venus retrograde, during the last Venus retrograde. Maybe you got married during a Venus retrograde, which is never a good idea, by the way. If you can avoid getting married when Venus is retrograde, it's always a good idea to do it with, you want the goddess of love for that particular situation moving forward. So, but yeah, maybe there's something that, you made legal then, and now you're trying to break that contract. You're trying to break that, you're trying to end that relationship and that marriage. So this could be somebody that you are, maybe you were trying to work things out and settle it without going to court in a divorce or custody, and maybe you were trying to do it with mediation or agree on things, and it just be that, things got out of hand and snowballed, and now it's turned into this big deal. We've made a mountain out of a molehill, and at this point, maybe you're wanting to meet them to give it one last ditch effort. It does seem like when we've got judgment and justice, like if you were trying to avoid going to court, Gemini, I do feel like maybe that's going to be the best way to get a fair decision on this. You have to. That'd be the best course of action. Now, the help that's going to be available, we do have the Ace of Cups in reverse. Let's see what's coming through with the runes here as far as the help. Well, this is a pouring out of emotion. And it's also, in some cases, but I also feel like with this that there was, there's no chance for an emotional new beginning, and that's not being offered. So maybe if this is like you and an ex, maybe somebody wants to reconcile, but because this is coming up as a help to you, I feel like you're done, Gemini. If this is a divorce, separation situation, someone else maybe wanting to reconcile, maybe kind of, wanting that, but you be making that clear that you do not. I do feel like it's going to help you, though, to really talk about your feelings very clearly. And that can be a challenge for air signs because you're so analytical. And you can detach from your emotions and really just look at things in a very, sometimes people kind of feel that it's kind of cold, but you can look at it in a very, all air signs can do that, generally. Unless you have a lot of water in your chart or water sign rising. Again, you're all individuals. But yeah, you'd be looking at it as more of a puzzle. And this situation, I think, is going to benefit from you really sharing your emotions. Maybe it's gotten so cold and detached. And so maybe if you're in a situation, a divorce situation where it's nasty, where, you showing your actual emotions would benefit you. And letting someone know how much you hurt, that they hurt you, instead of just going after this or going after the house or the possessions or the car or whatever. And that's how because that's all kind of manifestation of, you hurt me, so I'm going to hurt you. If you can kind of rein that back in and say, you know what, I'm cold to you and I'm acting this way because of what, you really hurt me. And this is how I felt. Just be open and honest about it. And once you open those floodgates, it kind of come out. And this can also be the other side for some of you opening up to you, and this outpouring of emotion happening. And it could be a real enlightenment for you. Like maybe you had no idea that this was going on. Doesn't have to be a marriage that's ending or even an ex. This could be anyone that you've had, old issues with coming back up. So it could be a family member, one of your kids, a sibling, a parent. But either way, I do feel like somebody really becoming vulnerable is going to be enlightening for you, or you doing that is going to be enlightening for them and leads to this fair, balanced weighing out or outcome of the situation. Same thing in court, right? There's a way to kind of let it all come out. And, I do feel like that would work in your favor because it's coming up as a help to you, either to let you know how someone was feeling, or for you to let someone know how something affected you really deeply with the Ace of Cups in reverse. But it does seem someone, though, has given up on renewing a relationship. Not necessarily with you. If this is somebody that was just coming to you for advice, maybe explaining to you why they were with this person and why there's no chance they're going back to this person. And it's going to be a real enlightenment to you because it's like, I had no idea you were going through that or that this was going on. What must be accepted about, remember, we've got the King of Swords. So this could be you, Gemini. It is an air sign. This is a male, but because, necklace is caught here. Just one thing after another this month. And nothing's even retrograde yet. When I'm recording these anyway, when I post them, it will be. But yeah, this could be you. Court cards can be male or female in these general readings. So yeah, if it's not you, it's another Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius. This is somebody who has felt opposed by the group. So it could be that you are feeling opposed by the group, Gemini, or this person is you're part of the group that this person says, I feel opposed by the family, by our coworkers, by the way this has worked out, by opposing counsel, the way that I've been treated. I feel like I haven't gotten a fair shot. For some of you, this could be a lawyer. This is a very analytical person. Normally they do give good advice. Or it could be you giving someone good advice. Like, here's here's how to fix this. Here's how to bring everybody together. There's been a communication breakdown within the family, within the group, and this person is offering advice or trying to rectify that or move past it. So it could be the lawyer, it could be the judge, it could be the person rendering the decision. It could be you giving advice, like this is how to go about it. This is how to put an end to this and bring everybody back together. But yes, someone has felt left out. Someone has felt like they were opposed, like people have been gossiping or talking about them. You feel that way, Gemini, and it'd be you expressing that. in a very blunt way. The thing about these swords people is they are not afraid to just state it as it is. They call things and people for what they see. They call it out, and they're not wishy-washy, and they don't really. Sometimes they could stand with being a little less harsh in the way that they express things, but they're not often saying things in the way that they do to be harsh. They're just speaking the truth. But, the truth for people is hard to hear. People don't really want to hear the truth very often. I know, from years of doing this, from years of doing what I do. But you do have to temper that, you do have to temper it. And they can be, not very skilled at doing that all the time. So, yeah, I do. For some of you, maybe you're saying, well, whoever this is that feels opposed by the group, or maybe you feel like because you state the truth and you state things the way they are, you call things as you see them, that is why everybody is up in arms about you, or people aren't, they don't talk to you, or they don't invite you to things, or they don't come to see you, or they've kind of left you out of the group, not consulted you on something. So a couple of different ways that's coming out here. You could also feel like you got a lot of people in your business in your Gemini. Or somebody could be telling you, like, Gemini, why are you always up in this person's business? Or why are you checking out their online thing? Or, Gemini, you can be a little nosy sometimes. Some of you can. I do have a lot of gems in my life. And it is like, whenever I see them, it's like the questions. It's sometimes like being interrogated. Very much like this guy would do. Just saying. So yeah, I maybe kind of be aware of, well, should I ask that? Is that really my business? And if the answer is no, maybe don't ask it. But I kind of feel like with the runes in reverse and the card that could be you in the upright, Gemini, it's other people like meddling in your business and misconstruing things and miscommunicating what was really happening, or it's like they've got the wrong idea. And it's stirring the pot, stirring everything up in a major way in November. Also, though, because of the Judgment and the Justice card, something is ending. Again, an era, a way of doing things, a way of a chapter is ending. The outcome is the Eight of Wands, which is quite good. So this is all about communication. Whatever is difficult, we're now on the same page. Lots of messages going back and forth, messages of, but they're good messages. So it could be messages of opportunities. This judgment could lead to new things for you, new opportunities, new interactions. If it's a relationship that's being repaired, it could be a renewed interchange. This person's back in your life and you're talking. But this is a lot. Whenever I see this card, a lot of messages going back and forth, text messages, emails, just a lot of interactions in text that way. Can also have a lot to do with writing, communicating, getting the word out. You'd be addressing people. You'd be writing a report or working on a book, maybe based on this experience. You'd be communicating that, for some of you, if this is like you're in a position of authority, you have to come, address the company. This is what happened, and this is the disciplinary actions that we took, or this is the way this is going to be handled from now on. For some of you business owners, if you are in a position of authority, you could be addressing issues of gossip and people, because maybe it detrimentally affected someone and they have expressed this to you, and now you are addressing everybody. We're not going to tolerate this. Here's the decision. From now on, we're not going to. Maybe somebody was online bullied. For those of you that are like principals or teachers, or you work with children, it could be that kind of a situation where you're having like an assembly and telling this will not be tolerated. Whether you're whether it's during school or after school, we're starting a new policy. We're ending this era of allowing this to go on without taking any sort of action. So there's some new system that's going to be in place to judge people regarding something for some of you. And you are part of that. And you consult a lawyer. You may get some legal counsel to make sure that everything's on the up and up, that this is going to be okay. And this is the delivery of the decision. It's the delivery of the message. It's the delivery of the way things are going to be moving forward. But Eight of Wands is generally a good card. It's something you're excited about. You think it's going to work very well. You've got indications maybe that this new process is going to, improve the flow of information. For some of you, maybe this was just a way of communicating at the office with your family, with a family member that is incorrect. Maybe this is a therapist, this person who is helping you and someone else see this. Like, this is not going to be beneficial, or this is not going to be, this is what the problem is. We've got to implement a new way of communicating with each other. So, yeah, communication is very much on the table. Communication, judgment, action, and moving forward very rapidly with the Eight of Wands. It also has a lot to do with very speedy, rapid movement towards a conclusion or towards a new goal. So all in all, it's a good month here, Gemini. I mean, I do feel like this is, if there is some delay, it's ultimately, I feel for most of you, going to work out in your favor in a major way. When we've got two major arcana on the table, it's usually big decisions being made, or you are helping someone make a big decision if you're not the one making it yourself. There's something that will speed to a conclusion, I think, rapidly in number based on a decision. So that's what I see in general. Like I said, meet me over on Vimeo. I'm going to shuffle the Viking cards. I want to see what further wisdom and guidance we can get on this and help for you for the month of February. That link again is below. I will see you over there, and I'll see you back here next time.